Ladies and gentlemen, I have some unsettling news. As you can see, because you've clicked on this video, that's right. We have now received on HBO a series of it. Welcome to Derry. And this is the review of episode 1. Okay. Going down, please. Actually, I had to type this one out as well on my laptop. It has always remained it, but really like a freaky. It's like one of the most scariest things, if not one of these scariest films I've ever seen. And I saw this when I was a kid. I was under the age of 10. My friends forced me to watch it over and over. Oh my gosh, watching the movie was so creepy and they loved it. Oh my god. Man, it was creepy. Eventually, they all left me alone in the room and they went to go do whatever, which was kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, so it Welcome to Derry, the new horror series and also the prequel to the It film franchise from 1990 and obviously the sequel. Okay, so this is based like in 1960s. This is years before the film. Okay, it is the prequel to the It film franchise from the 1990s. Comes to the streaming platform HBO, and those of you should already know by now that HBO doesn't really miss with the series. Examples of HBO's hit list of series would be the Game of Thrones, The Sopranos, Chernobyl, and of course The Last of Us before season 2. Okay, so going with that track record from HBO, we could consider that this series would be a banger, and it's a horror, so be extra prepared because I wasn't prepared for the first episode, to be honest. So, what do we know about it? Welcome to Derry, the series. Well, we know nothing at all. Of course, nothing is really explained, but we do know that it is a scary supernatural or alien being, from what we found out from the second film, okay, that crash landed on Earth and has been on the continent of the United States before the settlers even founded America. He's been here a really long time. If you remember in the second film, from what Xavier found out was that he crash landed on the continent of the United States or Native America at the time, and basically terrorized the Native Americans. Okay, he appeared to be this massive beast fighting but for somehow the Native Americans beat him and sealed him, and then somehow he escaped, and that's where you get the first film and obviously the sequel. Now coming into the series, this is based before the events of the first film. And man, first episode is so creepy. Oh, I'm getting the goosebumps right now talking about it. Oh my gosh. It's so freaky. He doesn't really reveal himself. More like every creature you see, what you need to understand is that it takes the form of the thing that you fear the most. So basically, the thing that's freaking scary. From what I've noticed is that you can understand whatever creature it is that you see in the series, that's him. He's not like sending things, it's him. Okay, so in the first episode, I had to just like lick myself and be like, it's actually him that's doing these things. Yes, we know it's him, but he's the one that's doing the things physically. He's just in a different form. He's not in his clown form. Okay, so ouch. That hurt. That hurt me. It hurt my bum. Anyway, so yeah, we start out seeing a child, Matt, watch a film, and eventually he decides to hike home. Um, and this is 4 months before present day, in a sense. He gets a lift from by this family, and this family seems weird. Man, the entire family is it. To be honest, he's just extensions of himself, and he plays with the kid's mind, and eventually the kid like gets killed, and it's so weird because it's like 4 months later, we come to present day. People are not sitting well. It's a quiet, quiet town, the same town. Some of the children are aware that things are going on. They just don't know what it is. Okay. And the parents, no clue. No clue. Not to mention, this is during, from what we would understand, uh, amidst a Cold War. So the whole of America is just fixated on the USSR. And for what I can understand, everybody's like, prepared, nuclear war, blah, blah, blah. And you could see how that type of situation and that kind of error that this story is being based in can actually keep people from really seeing what is happening in terms of that there's a supernatural alien being going after the kids. Because the parents wouldn't understand because they too worried about Russia, nuclear war, brink of war, and they do understand that the kids going missing, but it's not as important as what's really happening. Okay, it's literally a scary time to live in at that point, especially when there's a being out there that's going after people. Oh my gosh, that is super scary, and I can't believe it's a good setting. It's a good setting for a film, for a horror film. Whoa, you wouldn't really be expecting it, because there's a lot of topics that this show actually deals with: racism, uh, nuclear war, uh, apparently with the kids being popular, and who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth. Yeah, there's a lot of social topics that it touches on. Not hectic, to be honest. Yes, the racism is quite hectic, but what I understand in the 1960s, yeah, it must have been really, really touchy, especially if there is a officer who is black and is higher than somebody who's white, and obviously that person doesn't like it. Well, yeah, we're dealing with those kinds of things in this show. But the it thing, and I like it when his kids, like, it reminds me of that film. What's the name of that film now? I think it's called Halloween. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Scary Things to Tell in the Dark. That one. Oh man, I like those kinds of horror films. Telling a story and then this thing starts happening. Oh, so freaky. It's so cool. This reminds me of that because it's like Stranger Things at the same time. Because it's kids trying to figure out what's going on and trying to save people and all that stuff. Man, it was. These are the kind of films that are cool. It's just that it is kind of. He's really like one of the ultimate horror monsters in Stephen King's novel. One of the ultimate. He's not the ultimate, but one of the ultimate beings that you could put in a story like this where the kids need to find out things. I mean, and the sad thing is, we know what this is a prequel. We know what comes after this. Which what all the kids, everybody involved that finds out about him, do they die? That's the question. Wow, I've been going on about this entire show of episode one and the whole story instead of telling you what episode one is about. But that's the whole thing that's going through my mind. This is the first episode. This is a prequel. And when we see a prequel, it's like, oh crap. Does everybody die? That's the kind of thing. That's what I've been thinking of. But this is a cool story, show to watch. There's only been 2 episodes so far. Maybe episode 3 is going to come out this week. Well, it's been Halloween. Of course, we would get a series like this after Halloween, by the way. They don't even give it during the month of October, but they give it after. My gosh. Now, let's come to episode 1. Yeah, there's children involved. Apparently, all these kids that you see in the picture, there's like two from episode 1 that survive. Everybody else in the picture is dead. Actually, I don't think. Do they actually show the African chick in this photo? Actually, let me just see when the picture rolls up again. I want to see if she, I know that chick. Yeah, she survived. Spoilers. Yeah, all of those guys here at the back, they did. Yeah, just the 2 girls. The 2 girls are the only one from episode 1. Everybody else, they did. They did. Why is the picture there? They die in the first episode. I don't understand. It's so weird that they still put him on top there. Anyway, yeah. So everybody's worried about their own things, war and all of that stuff. But people are also concerned, like the little girl, and especially the little Jewish kid that apparently died in episode 1. They were worried about Matt. Matt was the kid that actually got missing, that went missing 4 months ago. In the search to try and find him, man, the freakiest thing happens, which actually happened from the movie. The girl, that girl, is in the bathtub and she hears Matt's voice singing a song, and she can hear it coming from the drain pipe of the bath. And then as she's, I don't understand why you would respond to a voice coming from your bathtub pipe. I mean, I wouldn't do that. That's just weird. If I started hearing voices coming from the bathtub pipe, I mean, I'm just shutting up and I'm recording. I'm shutting up and recording. And I'm making a video so people can understand, like, yeah, that really is coming from the bathtub. But she responds, and then the fingers come out of the bathtub, like, oh, help me, blah, blah, blah. And she screams. I totally understand. I would scream too. It's weird. You first hear voices from the bathtub, the pipe, and then you see two fingers. How the heck does the fingers and the arm get through there? Well, we are talking about a supernatural creature. Why she doesn't tell anybody? She probably thinks she's going crazy. But she does try and inform, like, at least friends, and that's where they come across. Man, I totally forgot about that chick's name. The African chick. Yeah, her family runs a theater, which is actually the theater that Matt went to. Okay, so yeah, she has seen Matt before, but she tells the girl the story, and they decide they're gonna go watch the film. Okay, so they go to this girl's theater that her family owns, and they play the movie. They play the film that Matt saw last, where the song plays, and all of a sudden they see Matt in the film. How is that even possible? He's in the film, and he's holding this thing that looks like a baby. I didn't understand what it was. I just thought he was holding it. Okay. And then he walks closer and closer, and they talk. Why are you talking to the theater screen? Daddy's good. I would have ran out there, and it's responding to you. Run. No, these white children said, "Now I'm going to talk." So they keep on talking, and then boom, the baby jumps through the screen, and everybody gets killed except the African chick and that girl that whose picture you always see that she looks like she's crying. I think she was chosen because she looks perfect when she cries. She got the puffy face. Look at her face, puffy, crying. Yeah, she was chosen because she's like a perfect crier. Man, it's hard to put this episode into words. I already gave it like a storyline, but it's a really good episode. I'm gonna give it, like, because of the scares, I'm giving it an eight. I'm gonna give it a 9 just now. But I'll give it an 8. Okay, because it's actually it was good. This is a good horror series. It's a good, man. It gets you. This is better than Stranger Things. This is like the rival to Stranger Things. I do apologize for all of the guys who are fans of the Stranger Things. I'm also a fan, but it's coming to an end, and the actors and actresses are just, they don't look like teenagers anymore. They look like they're 40 years old. There's only so much that I can take of seeing Eleven cry, figure out how to use her powers. That was very creepy because I could see that in the camera, and I thought, oh no. What? No? Anyway, so Stranger Things, we'll see that last season. But right now, we have a new king of the hill. And for the first episode, I'm going to say It Welcome to Derry is a must see. I would like to see for the rest of the episodes, because I'm actually busy watching episode 2 right now. There's only 2 episodes out. Like I said, there might be episode 3 coming out this week. We'll see how good it is. We'll see if it remains to be as scary as it can be. But right now, when it comes to it, yeah, he's going after kids, killing them. He's having his fun. There are people in the story, like the captain that we can see, that the air marshal, the pilot. They definitely tie in here because there are strange things happening, just they're not happening with a supernatural creature yet. But I'm sure somehow he does have a son. And I'm sure that through the son, he will get connected into this because he looks like he's very brave. I mean, we've seen the film from 1990. We'll see what happens in this season. So I don't want to spoil too many things. I've just said about episode 1. Massively spoiled that. But I'm curious for the rest of this series. Okay, so while I go watch episode 2, I want everybody else that has watched this video, click like, put down your comment, subscribe, and boom, let's get on to more reviews, more games, and more things that are out there. See you.